The ACE localization test is different from all other ACE tests. It does not assess monaural sound perception. It rather aims at assessing the central integration of binaural sound input. The processing of sound coming from both ears is done at the level of the brainstem and higher central pathways. One typical capacity that requires good central processing is the capacity of localizing the sound source. Evidence exists that two cues are relevant for this. Interaural time differences, or ITDs, or interaural level differences, or ILDs. ITDs rely mainly on low-frequency information, whereas ILDs rely mainly on higher-frequency information. It is believed that hearing subjects can use any available cue to achieve very precise localization, although there seems to be a preference for ITDs in normal physiology. It is assumed that cochlear implants are unable to pass the temporal information that is required for accurate ITD processing. Therefore, bilateral CI users may have to rely on ILDs to localize the sound source. In typical listening situations, ILDs result from the fact that sound coming from a given direction arrives with a higher level at one ear than at the other. This is particularly the case for the sound's high-frequency components. The ACE localization test generates an ILD in an artificial way. It presents the same 4000 Hz narrowband noise through two loudspeakers that are placed at -60 and +60 degrees with respect to the listener. The presentation level is different for the two loudspeakers. In case of good central processing of ILDs, this creates the audiological illusion of a sound source being localized somewhere on the azimuth between the two loudspeakers. To enhance the elusive power of this setup, it is recommended to install sham loudspeakers at 10 degrees from one another around the listener. At random, ACE plays the sound through the real loudspeakers with a level difference of delta I. The listener is asked to point the most likely source of this sound. This is one of the 13 loudspeakers, numbered from -6 to +6. For the test to be valid, it is important that the listener faces the sham loudspeaker in front and does not move the head. The responses are shown on the graph. At the end of the test, the median values are calculated for each delta I. The reliability of the listener's response is also calculated. A green color indicates good reliability of the responses. Orange indicates a doubtful reliability. And red indicates unreliable results. A test error is calculated. This is the root mean square of the listener's responses when compared with the average responses obtained in 30 hearing subjects. This is expressed in degrees in the horizontal plane. The lower this value, the better the localization. How to use and interpret the test results. This test is particularly useful to assess the central integration of binaural sound in a CI user with two implants. A bad response reliability is indicative of bad central integration of the binaural sound. In case of reliable responses, the RMS value is believed to be a measure of the degree of central integration. The lower the RMS, the better the central fusion. The absolute RMS value may be a useful clinical tool, for instance, to monitor the central integration of binaural sound after bilateral implantation. The time to achieve good integration may be linked to the age at implantation, or the interval between the first and the second implant, etc. Other clinical applications may still be explored.